All right, so welcome to the Flat Earth Podcast. I'm your co-host for now, Matt Long.
Woo-hoo!
With me, as always, is Dave from Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. Dave, how you doing today?
I am fantastic, but I can't talk. I feel terrific. I mean, it's so great to be here when you know that when you turn around, the person behind you isn't a brain dead zombie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's somebody that you have so much in common with, probably more than the regular people in your lives. So what an amazing place to be.
Yeah, so one of the things you said you were probably going to cry when you got here.
I did cry.
You cried? Okay.
I did.
So one of the things, I don't know if people know this, and I had a conversation about it earlier, is we don't normally do the podcast in the same room.
Same country.
Same country even, right? Yeah. I didn't know if like maybe we could start a rumor that we had like some deep underground base that we do a podcast from. Maybe we could start that rumor. But
are you free? No. Am I free? No. Let's do it at 3. Make it 4. I got to change diapers.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly. We are in 2 different phases of life right now. That's for sure.
All right. So let's jump into it because we got a lot to go through.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the emotional and spiritual impact of finding out the Earth is flat, how it changes your life. We're also going to talk about the app a little bit, how that came to be, Dave's vision, and then we're just going to go through kind of some recent kind of disproofs of some stuff that NASA's put out. And I'm going to do my best to be Dave's crutch. He's struggling with his voice, and hopefully entertain you guys a little bit. So.
All right. So as I start out every presentation, I don't do that many, is if you're not a subscriber to Crow 777 Radio with 2 R's, I know you're listening, Crow, you have to, because that's the base of information. If you listen to him from the beginning to the end, you're a different person by the time you come out the other side.
Yeah, keep that microphone close to your mouth, yes. Dave. And the thing about Crow is he's very good about not necessarily endorsing anything. He's very good about presenting information. He's not going to offend whether you're from a Christian background or, you're going to be the one who's going to decide if you're offended or not. But he's very good about presenting all sides. Very interesting stuff. He always has something cool on his radio show. And Dave,
especially last episode.
Yeah, if you go back and look at 185, really, really interesting guest he had on there.
That was me.
And Dave is the marketing arm for Crow 777 Radio with 2 R's.
So again, this is about belief. Belief is easy. I can tell you something, you can believe it, your whole day's done. Go do whatever you want. If you want to really find out the truth, as we all know, truth takes time, effort, critical thought. And most people are too fluoridated and vaccinated and everything else for the brains to actually do that. Somehow we have pulled it together and have started thinking. Since I became a flat earther, I haven't been bored for a split second. I wake up when 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'm getting up. I'm like, I'm not going to try to go back to sleep. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do some research. So I think it's just an amazing thing. And Benjamin, everybody, some of you I heard were offended last night. I was not offended at anything he said. I thought it was hysterical. The guy is a loving, from the heart, true speaker, and I appreciate him. All right, so we're gonna
I'll introduce it. We'll save your voice here, okay?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little game. We're gonna ask some questions. We're gonna ask you to fill in the blank, okay?
Right, fill in the blank, just to show that we've done the research. The people that fight flat Earth don't even know their own model. So let's start. Read it.
Okay, flat earthers are smarter than the average.
Boom.
All right. The Earth is blank miles in circumference. Boom, right there.
There you go. 24,000 is good enough.
Okay, it rotates at the equator at. There you go, right there, JQ. Nice. It orbits the sun at. Whoa.
If you ask any of these questions to somebody that's fighting the flat Earth, they don't know the answers, right?
Chases the sun at about
500, 660, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all the answers are wrong. So.
The sun is.
Boom.
Nice.
And nobody knows how we came up, except Eero actually told us who came up with that. Some Jesuit.
Yeah,
Jesuit.
All
right, and the formula, and none of you knew this before, flat Earth, for the curvature of the Earth. Boom. All right.
All right.
Other people don't know this stuff. All right, one more tough one.
The flat Earth, sun, moon, and zodiac. Yes. Okay. You know, the one thing we didn't do is we were going to have everybody raise their hand who actually has the app on their phone. And then if it was standing room only, you were the only ones that were going to be able to keep your seat. We were going to ask you to stand up and then others move in there. So, all right. Well, yeah, let's talk about the app. So I want to know what gave you the idea for the app?
So the idea for the app,
do you want to play some music while we do this?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But before we do this, the app has become a life sentence. I've worked on it every single day from 2 months before last year's conference, and I couldn't have done this. Whoops, I'm getting a phone call, of course. I couldn't have done this without the help of my loving, beautiful girlfriend, Paige. And if I can get this to the next one. And there she is, always be flat smacking. The app is now available in, Matt, can you read those?
Yeah, okay. It's available in Arabic, Bulgarian, Chinese, Finnish, French, German, Greek, Hindi, Italian, Japanese, Norwegian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and English.
All right. And if
Dave did all the translations himself.
I'm just going to run through a few things on the app. Most of you have it. Most of you have seen it. A lot of people don't know. If you go into settings, everyone, you can select your background. You can put in your own background. A lot of people ask, about, I'm just going to go down in order because it's going to be pretty quick. And again, I forgot to play the music, but I'm not going back.
It's all right.
I'm not going back.
We don't re-record.
You can have a 12-hour or 24-hour. So some people like the 24-hour clock. Personally, I like the 12-12. The new compass, which is kind of cool, where you go.
Compass is my favorite.
Up the compass there's the compass. So east and west are circles, as many of us are learning, and that's true on a flat Earth or a round Earth. And if you point in any direction, what direction is that, Jack? What direction is that? What direction is that? The south is every direction. East and west are circles. And that's true on a flat Earth and a globe Earth. And once you wrap your head around that, you're like, oh, that's how it works.
Yep. If you head any direction long enough, you eventually hit Antarctica.
Yeah. Going back in the settings. We have all these different features, and a lot of people like to have a nice clean screen so you can turn off.
I prefer a nice clean one.
Yeah, you can turn off the features. And how about that's enough? And now the app is a lot cleaner. Turn off the compass. What else, Matt? What do you want to know?
Well, I want to know about the video of the day, because is that what takes the most amount of time?
Yes. So every day I find a video, that's I think is good. I put short videos during the week, longer ones on the weekend, and I put it in the app, and in real time across the entire plane, everybody gets it within a split second, which I just find amazing. It's like those satellite connections. I don't know how it does it. But the challenge I ask you, if you're talking to somebody about flat Earth, when you break out the app, when they're listening, and you show them how the seasons work, where you can hit the jump button and the sun will jump from 3 months and show you where it is at the different date up in the upper corner there. They kind of get it. And the challenge is get the app, watch the video every day for 2 weeks, and there's no way you'll believe in the ball after that.
Agreed. It's also our own emergency broadcast system, because you can send out messages at any time. I heard there's a secret button, like a hidden button.
So a little button that only you guys know about, or some of you actually know about it. To the left of the digital time, there's that little hands, and if you click it and then wait a second,
it's the clock, right? Where it says 10:15.
Yeah.
Click the little clock.
It's actually the boom, and the hands go away. So you can just have really pure, true time, which is wherever the sun is, that's where it's noon. Okay?
Because there's not actual hands on the actual Earth, right? Like there's no
hands.
Okay.
So
really confused. We're flat earthers. We're not very smart.
And then again, everyone knows about the frequently asked questions. You click that, it brings you to a playlist. So if I click that, it takes me to a playlist. If it's going to play for me. Oh, I have no internet connection, so.
And kind of the importance of sending things in a playlist, you know, because of the algorithms with YouTube, you may send someone a video debunking the moon landing, and YouTube will load up the following one talking about why that video is not right. So that's the importance of sending links that are already inside playlists, because you then get to decide what the next video is that's going to pop up for whoever's watching.
If you send somebody new one video, YouTube's just going to deprogram them, bring them right back.
Great hang.
What did he say? I told him to send that right at this time. I didn't even see what it said.
That's funny.
Thanks. And then the latest one, and then we'll be done with the app, is the world weather. You click that little icon there, and you can actually show people how the temperatures around the world work. It's real time. It shows you where the sun is. It's noon in Central South America there. And you can go to the winds. And again, another great tool for showing people how, you know, those weather patterns don't do these big, huge swerves on the ball. They're actually nice circles. That's it.
Yeah, I think we covered everything on the app.
And then, and if you miss a video, you just click the archives to the right of the video window, and all the videos for the last year and forever are there in playlists. So
the archives are great. You also have the ability to gift this app through the App Store, whether it's Google Play or iTunes. And you know, what is it? How much does it cost? $5?
$2.99.
$2.99. Okay, so $2.99 to literally change someone's world is pretty awesome.
And for anybody that has an Android that doesn't have it, or has friends that have Androids, we have cards with free codes that we're going to give out after. Come out, ask us for some. We'll give you a bunch. You can gift them. But a lot of people have iPhones. But if you have an Android, we have a friend that, you know, he needs encouragement. Give them the code. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I had a kid who was messaging me on Instagram, and I told him he needed to get the app, and he's like, "Well, I'm in 7th grade, and my mom doesn't let me download stuff on my phone." So
the codes are kid friendly. Oops. Music I was supposed to play.
So if you could just imagine that music started when we started talking about the app, it'd be great.
Perfect.
Everything's better with the music. Like we start saying something really inspirational at this point.
And then the messages I get are so inspiring. The reviews on the app are amazing. This
read
is
it?
one I got. Yeah. Okay.
All right. My life every day for the past year or so since I got the app. The moment I open my eyes, my first thought is, I wonder what amazing flat smacking Dave has for me today. With a smile on my face, I pick up my phone, click on the video of the day, and watch at least 2 or 3 from the playlist before I get out of bed. The app is literally life-changing. Thanks for all the effort, David. Yeah, awesome.
I think that people that are lost, you know, they're on a spinning ball, they're lost in space, they don't know where they are, they're afraid an asteroid is going to hit them, they watch the news. That's depressing. I don't know why everyone that believes that isn't depressed, or maybe they are. But once you wake up to this flat earth reality, there's very little depression. You know, people can be hard on their luck or whatever, but they're not depressed. I mean, it's so life-giving. I've seen Owen's transformation from, I don't want to be a flat earth person, to this glowing, vibrant, alive thing. It was such a fun thing to see. Yeah,
one thing real quick. I just want to address how, Dave and I have both become millionaires through flat earth, right? I mean,
yes.
and this app is 100% Dave. It's literally just been a love gift from him, and he pours any money he makes, he pours either back into the app, or he brings in planes flying advertisements across, over the hotel. Like, he helps.
A shout out to Joe Mama, not a joke. Joe Mama right there, who is an inspiration, and JQ over here. Big helpers and supporters in making all of this stuff happen. Yeah. All right, so How far does light travel? We don't know, how fast does it go? How far does it travel? We're going to talk about, what did you say, trillions of years? Nonsense. Okay.
Banned for life.
Yep. A light year. I say just the idea of a light year is complete and total mind control. Any Globers here? Anybody? Don't be afraid. It's okay. We won't laugh at you.
No, I think Nathan got rid of the one that was from yesterday.
It's tough to find a Glober, but this is the year that we're.
Oh, is Faulkner here? There we go.
There he is, Faulkner.
There we go.
Beautiful. A hopeless Glober. Will you read that, please?
But you did show him last year that there's no way that we could be living on a ball if we have flat Earth hot sauce, right? Impossible. Okay.
Impossible.
All right. Did you want me to read this?
Yeah, please.
Okay. If the heliononsensical sun was 1 mile away from the globe Earth, it would look something like this. We can all agree, right?
Right. It would fill the entire sky, horizon to horizon. Many of you have heard this, but we're going to make a point. This is for you, Danny. Pay attention. Look up, Danny.
Looks like the hot sauce.
You move it 93 million miles away. It's the size of a dime held at arm's length. Even Danny agrees. Okay. So this is what mainstream science tells us, that when viewing, if you look at the Earth, that's what the sun looks like. Looks bright. But if you look at it from Saturn, it's the size of a star. Okay. Has anyone seen Saturn with their naked eye in the sky?
I have.
Well, most people have. If you ever looked, if you haven't, go look at it when it's in the sky. It's brighter than any star up there. We have to believe that little star sun is lighting up dusty, dirty Saturn, and then that light is traveling all the way to Earth to be brighter than any star in the sky. And yeah, it makes perfect sense. It makes no sense to any person that thinks. The problem is people don't think. All right, so Danny, what if we move that sun 600 times farther than 93 million miles? 600 times farther. Do you think you could see it? How about 6,000 times farther?
Maybe,
right?
I don't know.
Any thinking mind will know that little dot is gone. 6,000 times. How far? Oops, getting ahead. So we're told that many stars in the sky are just like our suns. Okay. The closest one is 4.3 light years away. That's the closest star. A light year is the distance light travels in a year, right? So back to the question, what would happen if we move the sun 6,000 times farther away, right? How far is that? It's 1 light month, okay? 6,000 times farther, you couldn't see it. That's a light month. The closest star is 4.3 million years. Wrap your minds around that. Most of you have. A helio-nonsensical model is finished. It doesn't make any sense.
So, what causes the sun to set, Dave?
Yeah. Thank you. What causes the sun to set? There's different factors in here.
If you want to click it, I'll read it. We've got perspective due to land-based obstructions.
Right. So as the sun goes away, the mountain ridge that's over your eye level, that's squished into the horizon, the sun will just go beyond it and set right behind it. And that's what these balloons will show.
We've got perspective due to atmospheric obstructions.
Right, so there's your cloud deck. And again, that gets squeezed into the vanishing point, but the sun is above it, moves beyond it, disappears from the bottom up.
And we've got the sunlight is no longer can punch through the atmosphere and reach your eyes.
Right, so from the right vantage point, if you have nothing that is actually going behind, there's a point where the sun's light cannot be thrown that far. It only goes not very far, very short distance before it fades out. All right. So I'm going to show you one of my sun fade out videos. This one has a filter. I had a little stability problem on the drone, but
like stability in life.
Yeah.
Or...
And thank you. The trolls, the only thing they have is use a solar filter. Use a solar filter. You know, the sun's not shrinking. The videos were never meant to prove that the sun shrinks, although it sure looks like it does. So the first time I saw this, it brought tears to my eyes.
I think it's the music.
Yeah, well,
this music was playing while you were filming.
Yeah, of course.
So for you on the ground, the sun's already set, right?
The sun was going down, 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 and then it stopped, and then it went away. And here's the point where it just disappears, and it's still there, but the throw of its light cannot make it back to us.
Awesome. So for you guys on the ground, the people on the ground can't see the sun anymore.
The sun has already set 10 minutes ago.
You're filming from a drone from 1,000 meters up?
Yeah. Oh, not 1,000 meters. That's pretty high. I'm at, I think I was. No, 500 meters high.
Okay. So why are other people not getting footage like that?
Yeah, so the reason people say, what, are you the only person that filmed that? Well, there may be other people, but
CGI.
Yeah, CGI. Here we go. There's specific conditions. One, it can't be over water because there's too much moisture over water. It has to be cold. Nobody wants to film out when it's cold. It has to be a super clear day, super clear. There can be nothing above your eye level for hundreds of miles. And you have to film it with a 4K camera. And in reality, when I was filming it, I was ready to turn the camera off because the sun was just a tiny dot in the sky. You can't see it until you zoom in post-editing.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the personal atmospheric dome. Right. Did you coin that?
I did not.
Okay.
Jaron probably. So if you look at your app and you see the sun, which is at 90 degrees to the right, that's when it's rising. It's over Africa, and we don't see the sun over Africa. We see the sun in a very personal dome of vision. The sun that we see is not, in my opinion, a physical mass. It's a focused point of energy that's coming into our realm. And if you truly go outside with an open mind and watch the sunrise and ask yourself, where is it? I can look down Long Island Sound, and when it shows up, I think it's closer to Montauk. That's about 65 miles, okay? Right? That means when it sets, it's going to be, less than 100 miles on the west side of me. So the path of the sun that I see is like under 200 miles. Could be a little more, could be a little less. Maybe it's a lot less. I really don't know. But there's so much evidence to show how this personal atmospheric dome works. So here we have a series of domes, and the sun is over the one on the left. And if you hold a light over a dome, you'll see a little sun in that dome. So the person on the left is seeing the sun right overhead, but the person on the right is seeing it on the horizon. And I filmed a little experiment. I have a dome and a glass, and I'm setting up the light. It's over on the left, and I'm just bringing it straight across, not going higher or lower. And you can see that sun. It's noon, then it's going down. And watch, it'll go down to the end. It'll stop. And then it just fades out and disappears. And that's even without an atmosphere blocking it, without anything.
Just like what you filmed.
Yeah, just like what I filmed. So that's how I believe that we see the sun. Tons of evidence for it. But again, anything above the earth, we don't know. We're just coming up with ideas, doing tests and experiments. There's nothing, as Crow 777 says, the only thing we can say about the luminaries in the sky is that they're luminaries. That's it. We don't know what they are.
Yeah, and I think we're not claiming we've proved anything with these tests. We're simply, we've looked enough into the ball model to say, man, there's some issues with this. And so now we're looking for explanations on other models is what we're trying to do here. Right. And a good example of the personal atmospheric dome is the sheet that we have set up back there, and how it's possible to view, two different observers are going to view the sun in two different places.
Right. So if you go in the back and someone holds a light on one side, or you just look through it, one of the lights in the ceiling, two people standing side by side, if you point to where you see it, you're both going to be pointing to different areas on that sheet. And that kind of represents the personal atmospheric dome. We'll check it out during the break when we're done. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah. It's what you're seeing.
It's your viewing dome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about solar eclipses. Here's on the right is a solar eclipse. Paige and I filmed. We're down at the beach. Actually, we were staring at it with our bare eyes, and people were like using reflectors to look at it and try not to burn their eyes out. And we just watched the whole thing without sunglasses. It was amazing. On the left is a simulation that I did, and here's how I think it works. This is another explanation, in my opinion.
In my humble opinion.
So we got the actual eclipse and the model eclipse. So a bunch of people that filmed during the eclipse saw another weird body next to the eclipse. Right? And there it is. And
watch how the lens flare is dancing and the other deal is not.
And if you look at the one that's locked to the sun, it looks like it's being eclipsed.
And that bright light is a sun being eclipsed. It's just too bright for the camera.
So what is that other light? We're gonna get to that.
Is my mic on? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If I had used a solar filter, we'd be able to see the eclipse on the sun, but we wouldn't be able to see the light behind it. So here's me recreating that. You know, we never see the sun approach, and the moon approach an eclipse or exit it. It's never been seen from anywhere. And if the sun was being projected into our personal atmospheric dome and the moon was blocking that, this is what we see. So I was trying to figure out what that light was, and I realized, the paper towel I was using was a little too opaque. The sky really isn't that opaque. And so I went with a thinner paper towel, also known as TP. And boom, there it is.
So again, not proving anything, but offering up ideas, right? And what's interesting about this and the biblical model is day one, God creates light. Then day two, the firmament. Day three, the plants, which create the atmosphere. And then day four, the sun, right? So in order for this to happen, you would have to have all those things. And this is basically showing that, yes, there is potentially a light coming in from outside our realm, potentially the light created on day one, creating the sun, which was on day four. So
the optics in the sky are super confusing. One thing, when I was doing the light above the dome, when I brought the light across, another sun went the other way. It's so what's going on in the sky? We don't know. We're not allowed to go there. I don't think anybody has gone there. All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, so the bigger the rocket, the more thrust it'll need to lift off. This creates a paradox. Explain to me why this creates a paradox.
So as rockets get bigger, they need more fuel, they weigh more, they need more thrust. At a certain point, the rocket's too big to even take off. If you doubled the size of the fake Saturn V rocket, it still wouldn't be able to fly. So you can't have bigger and bigger rockets, because you would need bigger and bigger engines, and it just wouldn't work out. So there's actually a name for that paradox, but nobody wants to talk about it, and I couldn't find it online. So we're going to talk about aerodynamics of rockets.
Yeah, so if I had to guess which one of those is going to be more aerodynamic, I'd probably pick the Dart.
Yeah, but you'd be wrong. The garbage can is more aerodynamic. So this is the SR-71 Blackbird. I just want you to notice how, first, it's got no paint on it because it would burn off at the speeds that it goes. It's made of carbon fiber, I believe. And it gets so hot that it expands 6 inches in flight. Okay? So would you call that aerodynamic? Pretty much.
Looks pretty sleek to me.
Zach, aerodynamic, right? I don't know. And if it got to 500 degrees, how come the pilot doesn't cook like a turkey? I don't know. I mean, that's some good insulation. We should use it in our homes to solve a lot of problems. What's that? It's a dry heat. Nice. All right. So what beats the aerodynamicity of that?
The SR-71.
Is that a word? Goes Mach 22, okay? Not 3. Look at that aerodynamicity. All right, my favorite part's coming up right here. Look, is that PVC pipe?
I think it's CPVC.
Right.
It's got to be rated.
And think about the forces on this thing with that blunt nose and those two little, what are those metal bars made of?
Like T-Rex arms.
Okay. This is the space shuttle. We have this emotional attachment to it. They really mind controlled us with it. They're wizards. They're ultimate wizards. So,
and then,
does that make any sense to you? All right. It makes no sense. So, what the heck is the space shuttle? All right. How many of you have not seen this video? Anybody? Has everybody seen it? All right. No one's seen it. Danny, you haven't seen it and you're not looking. I contend that the answer is that the space shuttle that we see launch is a blimp. All right. And I'm going to show you some proof of that. Here we go. This is very fancy. Got some sparklers going. And what is the space shuttle resting on? Okay. What is it resting on? Where are the feet? Okay. And a little bit of thrust comes out, and this is 4.5 million pounds. You can't fathom what that weight is. And it bounces. Look at the bounce. Nothing 4.5 million pounds starts moving in one direction and then stops. Okay. This is slow. I'm going to show it to your regular speed next. Right. And the Globers will say that the arms that hold it let go right at the right time where the thrust matches the weight.
It's like Charlie Brown when they're kicking a field goal.
I mean, that's nonsense. That's so crazy. So there it is bouncing, kind of like a balloon, right? And we're going to talk about the thrust in a second, but I'm going to show you another thing. So this is a rare view of the top of the shuttle just at the same point when it's launching. Tell me what this looks like.
Unbelievable.
It's called the twang. They gave it a name, right? And that's the point where the arms let go of the shuttle as the engines are lifting it off the ground. It's, I don't know what to call that.
You call it twang.
Yeah, it's not. I'm gonna show. Let's just watch that one more time. This is the twang, and it's hard to find this on YouTube anymore. That's a balloon. It's a blimp. It's a blimp. 4.5 million pounds of pressure.
So then it's not sitting on anything. It's being held from underneath before they let go.
I have no words for this. So Matt, you're a farmer, okay? You have a tractor. Do you think with a chain and your tractor you could pull that fence over?
Probably.
Yeah. How much force would that be?
Well, so in construction, we have to build handrails that can withstand 200 pounds of lateral force.
200 pounds of lateral force. Has anyone seen what a 160-mile-an-hour hurricane does to a fence or a tree? That's 160 miles an hour. Make it 300 miles an hour like a tornado. We've seen videos of what that does. This thing isn't going anywhere until over 4.5 million pounds of pressure, right? Coming out at 17,000 miles per hour or faster are blowing through that fence, okay? It would pulverize it. It would vaporize it, okay?
It's obviously built out of better steel than what they built the World Trade Centers with.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. This makes no sense. This is mind control, All right. Here's a quick video of an airplane with a truck going behind it. Now, this airplane is sitting where it's forced to go forward. Is a lot easier than going up. So maybe this is 250-mile-an-hour winds coming out of there, and there goes the truck. Okay, that's nothing, right? And the plane didn't move.
Yeah, imagine it trying to go up.
Right, and the plane isn't 4.5 million pounds. Even if it was, maybe you could roll forward, but it's not going anywhere. All right, so this is another thing that I found during the making of this that I was not expecting to see. We know how sound travels slower than light. So thunder, you see the lightning, thunder's 5 seconds later, means the storm is a mile away. Okay, so here is the space shuttle launch. Listen, it's over 20 miles downstream, right? The delay on that is how long?
Less than a second. That was less than a second. But it's like 90 seconds. Is what
it should be a 90-second delay in hearing that, all right? And we're shown that at the same time. Because if they showed it to us with a 90-second delay, the sound wouldn't be there and our eyes would go, that doesn't look real. But they put the sound in, it has to be real. Mind control. Utter mind control. Here's
this is unbelievable.
A SpaceX blimp that launched and accidentally blew up. And they tell me what this looks like.
Data coming back shows vehicle on course, on track.
Just wait. Watch. It's going to explode. And it's gone.
Unbelievable.
It's a balloon. It's a blimp. It's a lightweight airship. And they're fooling us. They're lying to us.
Like when a little kid lets a balloon go and it like floats off in the sky, and it's kind of like sad seeing it go away, right? Because it's like by itself. And
yeah, watch one of Dwayne Kellum's balloon launches at 120,000 feet. When it pops, looks just like that. It's unreal. And then they end the picture, the video.
That's it.
With
That's the kid who let the balloon go, right there. And he's like,
this is mind control. This is utter mind control.
That's the guy who let it go.
So here are the comments. This is what the trolls have. Will you just whip through those?
Yeah.
All right. And,
I'll do.
All right, we're gonna edit them.
Don't worry, I won't say the.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is on that show. It says, any of you that think this is fake are effing stupid. I mean, you really have to be stupid. Holy, you know what? I don't even know what to say. So good comeback there. The sound is real time from microphones on the cameras on the boosters in the shuttle.
Right. But how loud would that engine be? You can't hear the engine, but you can hear the boosters. Nonsense.
This is moronic AF. So much incredulity, it hurts. Holy, you know what? This is retarded. Ha ha ha. What a pathetic video. So obviously disproven. Pure ignorance. Pure ignorance. This is why we should ban religion, Dave. Not only will it solve world peace, but then you won't be blinded by your programming. There is no God. Suck it. You're an idiot. Stop spreading this bull you know nothing about. I'd say you put your talent to better use, but you have none. Yeah,
that one
right.
Hurt.
Yeah,
that one hurt.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How do you guys come up with such absurd? Never ceases to amaze me. 403. The sound is zoomed in.
That's some new technology.
That's why you can hear the rocket separation. Come on, man. Don't waste my time with this crazy theory. And does it hurt to be this stupid?
This is the best they have. This is what you get. All right, a couple quick ridiculous rocket landings, and I don't need to tell you guys this, but any thinking mind that anyone that sees this and believes it is not thinking. This thing weighs tons, many tons. It's falling out of the sky, and that little bit of fire is holding it upright.
I didn't even see the clouds move when it came through them.
And it lands. Yeah, bullseye. Okay, but you know what? Ground's not moving. Well, the ground is spinning in this theory. This is landing on a spinning Earth. It's just nonsense. Now they're going to do it on a drone ship. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Look at that. What is holding it upright? And it landed. What I see there is an ultimate kite surfing day.
Yeah, you can see the wind, see the white caps.
And the raft is hurling up and down. I know it doesn't look, you can't really tell, but if you're on that thing, you'd have a hard time standing. And then one more from 11/11. This is the last launch. Let's go back. Look at the Earth. It's convex. And then the next clip, it's convex, concave, whatever. I'm dyslexic.
King to call.
And then look at the tinfoil. How does that thing was going through the atmosphere at 17,000 miles an hour? No, please. And look at that. I imagine a big hand just putting it down out of the screen. Okay. It's mind gravy. All right.
Goals for 2020. These are personal goals, or
these are some flat Earth community goals.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so when asked if you think the Earth is a globe, people are going to be embarrassed to say yes.
Yes, because it is truly embarrassing once you realize it. Once you know, you look back, you're like, how did I ever believe that nonsense?
People from the media, celebrities, pilots, scientists, teachers, musicians, and more will go public.
There's many out there, many celebrities that have contacted us. There's a lot of people out there that are afraid to come forward because they don't want to lose their livelihood. There's a lot of pilots now that are on board, but we had one pilot was on Globebusters or one of the shows, and she got grounded. She lost her job. But they're waking up, and I'm calling out to all the pilots out there and engineers and the people that are seeing this. Get together, find other people that are awake and aware. Form an underground union, a flat Earth union. And when there's enough of you, they can't. If you all come out together, it'll be super powerful.
Force the mainstream media to bring flat Earth to the table and have intelligent, open discussions.
Right, and that. That's what Rob Skiba has been preaching here, and we all have. We had a little press conference yesterday, and Rob read them the 10 don'ts, and shamed them pretty much.
The press conference was great because it allowed us to put 8 minutes forward of what we actually believe, so that the press doesn't go around, even though they're going to anyways, putting the square pancake floating in the solar system. And like I talked about yesterday, the perception, if that's someone's perception of flat Earth, they're not going to give it a second look because that's ridiculous. We don't believe that. So I think the press conference is a good first step of saying, like, here's what we believe. Okay, now you can ask your questions.
Yeah. What can you do?
You can make an app. You could, what all?
Everybody, some people say, I don't make videos. I don't want to, I'm afraid to talk in public. That time is over. That's not an excuse anymore, but everybody can help. There's people that just go in the YouTube chats and answer questions and troll trolls. JQ. And there's people that help fund Flat Earth. There's like, I don't have the ability to do anything, but I can make some donations. That's great. I made the app. Matt does his biblical short little videos and will speak at churches and stuff. Everybody can do something, even if it's just handing out cards. By the way, we have cards for everyone to take stacks. You can anonymously put them out. You can hand them out. You can have discussions. Just do something. So,
yeah, so we were thinking a good idea would be, if you own a business and you got the TV playing all the time, maybe replace the news with Globebusters 24/7.
Lots of times, nail salon, restaurants, whatever, they have the news on, right? Barbershop. If you have one, if you have a store or a place, or even just at home, people have the news on in the background. None of us do, of course, maybe Danny. Put the Globebusters 24/7. You never know what you're going to get there, and it'll suck people in. I've seen people I've done it. I've set it to their home screen. So when they hit home, it goes to Globebusters 24/7 when they're looking for Google. You can do that. Anything. Just anything. You wake up, one person, I forget who it was, but somebody said I woke them up and they're now like a powerhouse, flat earth smacker out there. And I woke them up. Like Taboo Conspiracy. He became a flat earther because of me. Who knew? And now that guy is killing it. He's with his videos. Did anybody see Taboo yesterday? Yes. Anyway, he killed it. So
what other 9 saw him? There were 9 more people that saw him.
Yeah, there was like 10 people. Watch the live stream, watch the recording. Make sure you catch it. Really I didn't see it, but I know it's awesome already. This is what I call the Flat Earth Family Society. Support other flat earthers. Like if you have a business and you need to hire somebody, try to hire a flat earther. Kind of like our secret club. That they're hiring Masons, hire Masons.
Angie's List.
Yeah. So just honestly, if I was looking for somebody to do something and I had an MBA graduate from Harvard or a flat earther, I'd take the flat earther.
Try to talk to someone every single day.
Yeah.
And like Nathan Thompson said, I mean, if someone's really resistant to it, don't talk to them.
Walk away.
Move
Run
on
away.
to the next person. Flip the script and make the spinning globe the joke topic, because it truly is.
Yeah. What are the truest words ever spoken? Besides, you're brainwashed, fool, if you think you live on a spinning rock, water ball rocket spiraling through an infinite vacuum into nothingness.
There's something truer than that? Oh.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, and that is how they control us. They divide us. They put us in fear. They cut us into countries, those countries into regions, and those states, into towns. And then you have your sports teams. You have your political parties. They divide, races. It's all nonsense. We're all here. You don't hate people in Russia. They don't hate you. It's the governments that are doing this division. And then they say nuclear war. We all know that's fake. Asteroids. They just keep everybody in this fear. And fear is the only thing that stops you from becoming who you truly are and activating the world.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And why the lie? Everybody gets that. When you start answering questions, people ask you, what about this? What about that? And we have all the answers. Bam, bam, bam. They go, well, why? Why the lie? Why? Right? And the answer I preface it with, I don't know. I'm not them. But I have a pretty good idea, because if you, this is it. This is a quote by Edward Hendry that
I'll read it.
Actually edited just a little bit.
Did you fix the errors?
Yeah.
If people understood that the earth is stationary and flat, they would understand that they are a unique creation of a creator. They would want to find out who created them and why. They would conclude that there is a God. They would come to understand that God rules from heaven above. They would rebel against tyrannical government by loving one another according to God's commandments and simple common sense. They would come to understand that they have a God-given rights to life, liberty, and property. The tyrannical governments of the world would collapse. Edward Henry. Yeah.
That's why. It's that simple. They're hiding who you are, where you are, what you are, and they're controlling your minds and spirit. They're stealing everything from you, and we've had enough, and we've woken up. People say, well, what can I do? They're too powerful. That's the scam. They're not, right? We saw the magician's trick. If magic no longer works in us, now show everybody else. They're just magicians. They're wizards, and they have no power over us unless we believe they're in their wizardry. And back to home again, support what you like, or what you like goes away. So there's many of you out there that have been supporting other people. I subscribe to Owen Benjamin's unauthorized.tv. Never been there, not once. Been there since day one. And so pick a few people, join a Patreon. I don't want you to join me, support Jaron. It says, how can I help you? I say, become a patron of Jaron's. Anybody, whoever you like, support them so they can do more and wake up more people. And that is it.
Yeah. one thing I wanted to mention was wanted to thank our one Glober in the room, Danny Faulkner, and for being brave enough to raise your hand and say it. But discovering that evolution was a lie was integral with my walk with Christ. And the work that Answers in Genesis does on that front was paramount in my trip back to the Bible. And so thank you to you guys for the work you've done on that. A lot of respect, and a lot of respect for you for coming to these and being around.
And one more thing, books are a great thing to have. There's so many books out here. Here's one by our worst channel name ever. What's the channel name?
Yeah, it's not worse. It's just the longest. Flat Earth, Banjo, Japan, Brazil,
Connecticut, New York.
Here's what I think we should do. I'm gonna ask a question, and the first person to yell it out gets the book.
All right.
How about that?
This is 16 emergency landings that prove flat Earth. Pictures. It's amazing. We have 2 copies.
2 copies. Okay. Yeah. What was the name of the co-host before me? Who was it? I think we got right here. We got Colin King. All right.
All right.
There you go. What else did we want to give away like that?
Let's give out one more. We have one more of those.
We got one more? Okay.
Yeah, and we can give out the other book that's over there.
All right.
So we also have, after that, we have the hoax book. Many of you have seen it. It's a book of memes. It's amazing. I'm going to give one copy away. But if you want one, they're really expensive. I buy it on Apple Books. I have the files on the website, theflatearthpodcast.com. You can download it, order your own. Or if you don't want to do that, I can do it for you. And you just send me the whatever cost. But go ahead.
Okay. What is the name of the roller coaster that gave Dave brain damage? I heard it over here first. Who was it? Right there? All right. Nice. Poor Dave.
All right.
King Dakar.
So everybody, please, lady in the front. She raised her hand. Are we out of time? How are we doing?
I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we're over. So thank you for coming, and
appreciate it. Awesome.